Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be making this Sims 4 CC dress with Marvelous Designer using the retopology method. This is going to be, I think, a series parts tutorial. So this first one will focus on how to retopologize with Marvelous Designer. What retopology does, it helps to reduce the number of polygons and vertices for your Sims 4 mesh. It is recommended that you have, I think the recommended polygon is around 15,000 polygons, then the vertices is around 10k vertices. So it's recommended that you don't go above that threshold for those that use low-end PCs, so that your CC, your custom content, will run smoothly with their game because of their computer. So firstly, once you've drafted out your design, first thing you have to do is to prepare a high poly mesh. So in doing that, we will click on all available mesh, then we'll go to the property editor and then change the vertical distance to around 10. Depending on the type of PC you're using, you can use 12, you can use 8 or lesser, but I'm just going to go with 10 because of my PC. And once you've done that, you see that it brings out a lot more details as you've as you decrease the particle distance. You see now when you go to your mesh mode on your 3D viewport on your Marvelous Designer, you see that your meshes are tightly, you have more mesh because you decreased the particle distance. And to bring out more details for you. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to freeze the sleeves. I want it to look like exactly the way it is as it's freezed on my Sims. I don't want the creases on the sleeves, so that's why I'm freezing it. I'm strengthening it, sorry, not freezing. So when I'm done with that, when I've simulated my outfit, I'll click on everything on my 2D viewport and freeze it. That is my high poly mesh. I won't move it, I won't do anything else. So next we'll click on the retopology icon on our 2D viewport, drag it down and click on patch retopology. So we're going to do this bit by bit. The first thing we'll do is the number of subdivision you have on this level. We're going to be using 16. What I'm going to be doing is the points on my outfits that were created when I was making the dress, I'm going to use it as a guideline. So I'll start with this bottom part of it. For the next line, I will make sure that the number of subdivision on this line is the same with the parallel line. So I'll go with 16. Once I see that the parallel lines, they don't have the same number of subdivision, I just click on it. Once it's highlighted yellow, I'll change it back to whatever number is on the parallel side to make it equal. So now we'll move on to the next part. Just continue with it and you make sure that every parallel lines are equal in the number of subdivisions. So once we've done that on this first part of our pattern, we'll just click on create and it will create our mesh. And the same thing we did for this first part of your pattern, you repeat it on the second part of the pattern. So now you repeat the same thing for the sleeves. So after we've done this part of patching the retopology, this remaining part of our dress, it's not squared, so it's going to be difficult to patch the retopology. If we do it that way, we're going to have triangular meshes, which we do not want. We need quad meshes, that's squared meshes. So we'll click on create topology and start creating each topology separately on the remaining parts of our outfit pattern. So you can try and figure out the method that works best for you. Then in practice, you'll be perfect with it. So just fill up the remaining spaces in our pattern. I'm just going to skip this for the bits. So now we're done with covering all parts of our pattern with our mesh. So now once we've done that, we'll say everywhere is covered with our quad mesh. You right click and click on remesh or duplicate on it. So drag your mesh that you just created to one part of your 2D window, then you assign a new fabric to it to make it different from the color of your high poly mesh. So once you've done that, you go to your UV editor window to export your OBJ object to be imported into Blender. So you do it individually. You first of all reset all to 2D arrangements, drag and click on only your low poly mesh, then you fit it to UV 0 to 1. Once you've done that, you make sure that your low poly is highlighted, only your low poly is highlighted. Once you've done that, you go to file, export, OBJ selected, then you pick a folder where you want to export your file to, then you name it low poly, low measure, whatever it is that you feel like naming your file. Then you click on save. Just make sure that your save option is the same as what we have on the screen here. Then you click on save. Then after you've done that for your low poly mesh, you do the same thing for your original high poly mesh. You reset auto U2D arrangement, drag and click only on your high poly mesh, then set to UV 0.1. Once you've done that, make sure only your high poly is selected, then you go to file, export, OBJ selected, and save. And once we've done that, we're done with this first part. Now we're moving on to the next part, which is how to fix our low poly UV in Blender. Thank you, and see you in the next part.